Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom, and today with Katharina and
Suchada.
And Navasit.
yes. Okay, so what questions do you have for me today?
I have a question about frequency. Recently, I think there's a topic of our interest that energy is about energy and frequency, and I'm wondering what is the different frequency between the Kali Yuga and the Golden Age?
Yes. Well, the Kali Yuga, this is like you pronounce it a bit different. It's from the Hindu tradition. It's called Kali Yuga. And the Kali Yuga is an age like what we have also in the Mayan calendar. We have different ages that we go through. We have in Mayan calendar, it's like a pyramid that each age is adding an energy. And as you know, the Mayan calendar has ended at the end of 2012. And as I said before too, it really did happen sometimes. And even if people cannot see it, but what we are experiencing now is the consequence of the end of this age, because the energy has shifted. And the same it is with the Kali Yuga. The Kali Yuga is the last of 4 different yugas. And the Kali Yuga is connected with a demon called Kali, not the goddess Kali. That's a different story.
Oh.
But the demon Kali is a demon that is just like giving energies out of like discord, disharmony, it's quarrel, war, and all this negative energy that come out. And this is a demon that wants to destroy the world. And in this story, it's kind of like that demon was given rule over the Kali Yuga, the last age. So we have the golden age, then we have silver, we have bronze, and we have the Kali Yuga, which is the what is it called? Clay. Clay is in English the word. So when we have the different ages, the golden age, that is the so-called Sathya Yuga that we are moving into. But the whole is also like the whole cycle. We start with the golden age, and this is like people are enlightened. We can also say like we come from high up. We don't fall directly into the depths of the darkness. It's a gradual going down. And we can say from the golden age into the silver age, into the bronze age, and then fall down into like the feet or the clay age. So they show the picture of like a man, and he has feet of clay. So if you want to defeat, you have to smash the feet and he falls. So that is the different rhythm, but it has the whole ages in the Hindu tradition are about 24,000 years. And in the astrology tradition, we have 25,920. So it's not exactly the same, but also remember, we don't have such a long time memory. And some sources of the scriptures are not really verified. Like, for example, one source we have that he said he was writing this text when he had a certain age, but we don't know when he was born. So we cannot really figure out what time. So every time we move in another yuga, we move in a different frequency, in a different energy. And every time when we shift from a very, very low, dense energy as we are now to kind of put up into a high energy again, it is very difficult. And this is what I mentioned before also, that from according to the Mayan calendar and other ages, that is more a longer time frequency, humanity always has been destroyed in the shift of a huge energy change. And this is the very first time that we survive it, the very first time that there is no cataclysm in a big style, that we are being just all, we have to die and then start all over again. So the Kali Yuga ends in 2025, which is very overlapping with the Mayan calendar, with the prophecies that it takes us about 25 years of the transition. Some people talk from 2000 to 25, some people talk from 2012 to 37. It doesn't really matter. It's all within the same time frame. And just remember, when we look at thousands of years of cycles, a couple years don't matter.
So it means that we are on the transition.
Yes,
from
exactly.
the Kali Yuga to the golden age.
Yes, exactly. And now we can say the golden age has a complete different frequency.
Okay.
So it's like a music tone which is changing, or the frequency. Actually, there is on YouTube, you can find out the Schumann resonance sound. You can find the sound. It's a very deep kind of sound that nearly is really vibrating very strongly. So what is happening is we are moving into another frequency here. And I think here I can share my screen quickly and show these Schumann resonance fields. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I have it here in my Telegram. You see, like this. This is the chart from a couple days ago. Now, when we look at the Schumann resonance, this line here, we have different frequencies. I just see, you cannot see the frequencies, right? You just see the picture. Yeah. So we have generally the earth tone is about 7.84 hertz. As you, a very, very, very low sound. And this is around here, this is around here, this frequency here. And every time now you can see there are spikes, they come in like swords of energy. It's like, pew, pew, like this is like piercing us with a higher frequency that goes up to 40 and more. Down here is 40. And what I observed lately, that this line here, that is 20 hertz. This line here is constant. That was not before. That means that there is like, it seems to be like a second tone is being played. So it's not just one tone here, there's the frequency of about 8 hertz, but now we have also this 20, and that new line that is coming up, but this is 30 hertz. So things are shifting into a higher frequency, and each time we have these very strong light bursts coming in, it shifts the frequency, and it also affects our physical bodies. When we talk about frequency, this is what we don't hear. This is the pulse of Mother Earth. Mother Earth is a living being. And a living being, I mean, otherwise nothing would grow here if she would not be alive. So in one, this is her physical body, is the planet, but she does have a spiritual presence at the same time. And this is one thing, how we fall into darkness, and this Kali Yuga is when we lose the connection between spirit and matter. So we also have lost the connection with the spirit, Mother Earth.
So we will lose our consciousness too.
Yes, in a way we can say we not lost it, but it fell. It also fell down in a much deeper frequency. So we started to use, abuse, and misuse the earth. We don't care anymore.
Uh-huh.
Like when you go back in old tribes, for example, before they plant or when they harvest, they give prayers. Some traditions still do that, but not many.
Mhm.
We just go and we do something, we plant something, or we rip it open and put concrete on top and make a road and think this has no consequences, but it does.
Mhm.
I think I can see that from what you just mentioned, we have lost connection with our Mother Earth.
Yes.
With all of these electronics and concrete jungle and from mobile phone
Internet.
and internet and the 4G and the 5G
It's
is
distract.
it separates us from the real connection that we need with nature.
Yes, and not just disconnected. Just imagine this frequency, they completely distort Mother Earth, and actually they would kill her.
Oh.
Because Mother Earth, the spirit of Mother Earth also has a certain frequency and she cannot go below. It's like when our physical body is done, we die and we leave because our spirit cannot hold on to it anymore. And this is actually what would have happened if not for help and intervention. This is the time that we are moving, that we also have help from outside of the planet. And this is what is happening with the awakening of humanity now, with that photon belt energy that we have moved in now, or the golden age, whatever you want to call that shift that we are in. So now Mother Earth does rejuvenate with these energy boosts that I just showed you. This is like, I can say like injection, that's the positive wax, the injection of high frequency energy. But the thing is that we receive it too. It is also healing for us. But people who are in a very, very low density, a very negative Kali Yuga energy, these light bursts are not very happy events in their lives. They are really pierced by that energy. And the darkness will go away when there is light. So we can say the dark ones, they will die. They have to leave the body when the light is coming in because they cannot hold on anymore. See, that's why, like the shifting from one energy into the other, we don't even need to really fight. So it's just like the moment is light, the darkness is gone.
So it automatically gone.
Yes. You just don't have to resist it. And this is why it is so important to let go of old habits, old patterns, because this is what you cannot take with you.
So we have to go like get rid of the material things that burden us, something like that.
Yeah, too, but it's much more the mental. The mental pollution is even worse because of the belief and the programs. And this is the most difficult to get rid of, because on the mental, emotional level, when we have all these negative beliefs, these negative experiences from this life, from past lives, which are for us very real, if we cannot let go of it and remain in a deep, a lower frequency, we cannot shift into the higher.
So how can we I mean, how can we get rid of the old belief? I mean, the old pattern.
Openness. You know, first of all, we have been educated into a certain belief system. This is good, this is bad, blah, 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 no? Now we have to just be open and say, I am open to change my mind. This is simple, but that's very difficult. So somebody told me this is bad, so I believe it. But when I look at it again, okay, I give it a chance to see that it's maybe not bad, and start to experience. Because what we don't know, we don't know. That means that where we are going, we don't know where we are going. So all our knowing cannot help me because we don't know what we don't know. That's it. So only openness and courage can help us to jump there. So in some situations, there is no advice. Absolutely not. The only advice is follow your heart.
Yeah. Okay. I got it.
So we are in this transition now where there is a lot of confusion, and all what is happening in the outside world is happening because it is something that we have created already before, and now it comes to the surface. Now it's being seen. But all the bad stuff that is happening now has the roots before it's already planted. The seed has already grown and the plant is already here. And now we need to deal with it. There is no way just running away, put your head in the sand. You have to deal with it. Whatever is coming into your life that requests you courage and move beyond old dogmas. It comes into your life for that reason, to get rid of all that garbage that we don't need anymore. And that is often behavior.
So I think it is that we need to align our frequency with the golden age frequency, and also to link it to the Gaia.
Okay, you cannot align your frequency when you're not there yet, and we are not in the golden age yet. So how can we align our frequency? It's not possible.
Okay.
So
okay.
What do we do?
Yes. Again, what do we do? It's like we step slowly up, one step after the other in our frequency. And that means that generally the difference, we can say Kali Yuga is mind, emotion. Golden age is heart, love,
Wisdom.
wisdom, love, wisdom. There is still knowledge, but the knowledge is coming from the heart, because it is now, today we know that our heart has brain cells. And there were many scientists talking about that there are brain cells inside our heart, and we can sync with our heart. And you know that every time when compassion comes with it, empathy comes with it, that is your heart, not your mind.
Yes.
So we have to go into that consciousness of the heart, into the consciousness of the compassion. This is automatically then that we refine our frequency and slowly move up. Every time you overcome a pattern or a belief of good and bad, or a belief of whatever behavior you're forced to do, every time you go over it, then your frequency goes a little bit higher.
Okay. Step by step.
Yes, and the jumping, we have samples, for example, that you have in traditions, and not just Buddhist tradition, others do that. They are masters that reach enlightenment. But for example, in a Tibetan tradition, the master who reach enlightenment, the so-called rainbow body, cannot think one negative thought within 13 years. I never get there. So that's not my journey, definitely not. But remember, these monks have meditated in the age of darkness, not now. So they needed this 13 years to sit
okay.
away from the world, completely in meditation. They have been served their little bit of food every day, whatever they needed, they just more or less meditate. And they are not involved in any activities in the world.
Okay.
But we don't have that privilege in the moment. Nobody. We all need to get out now and are confronted with all the things that we need to look at. And I think I mentioned that before. It's not that we have to pay back karma anymore. No way. We can drop it. Look at it, drop it, gone. And just walk away from it. Walk away from one behavior. Walk away from one belief. And then to increase your frequency, you can use, again, frequency, sound, you can use sound.
Sound and tone.
Tone, music, melody, dance, singing.
So it helps.
Yes, it does. But also here we have a big problem, because as far as I know, it was in the time of the Second World War that our musical scale has been changed. But I have also some sources from before, but I'm not 100% sure which is the right one. Now, our musical scale has been changed. Okay. You're familiar with acupuncture?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just say here is a point. This is an acupuncture point, right? But if I go with the needle a little bit here or here, it still has an effect. But if I got right on the point, the effect is very powerful, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the same with tone. If the tone, and I was involved in sound healing for I don't know how long. If the tone is right, spontaneous healing is happening.
Okay.
Or fast healing, whatever. Sometimes even spontaneous remission. But if I'm just a little bit beside the tone, I'm still like in a frame of maybe 2 centimeters, but the dot here, I didn't get the dot, but I have something like this. And this was done to music. Like the scales, all the instrument has been tuned into a different frequency. The original old frequency is called the so-called solfeggio tunes. And I have a slideshow about that. We can do that later, that I explain all about the sound. But for now, just let's say that if the sound is not going exactly to that point where this acupuncture point is, it is not healing in the same way. It might be positive. As you go, for example, and listen to music, there is some music who really makes you very happy and very nice and relaxed, and some music that makes you very aggressive, and rhythms that drive you nuts and do many things with people. So sound is one of the most important things that is being used to control us.
So for this sound or tone that we are talking about is for healing physically or mentally?
Both.
Both.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember, when the physical illness is the last step, first we have like the mental emotional part, then when an idea and attention come in, which later manifests in the body. So we need to be influenced in the mental emotional field first, and then it has a reaction on the body. But when we talk sound waves, you know how it is. You feel the waves. Like those who've been sitting with my bowls, they feel the vibration of sound. It's very powerful. So you have, with this sound, you have all levels. You have mental, emotional, and physical reactions. And sound is being used to influence the mood of people. You maybe have heard about subliminals.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is the subliminal messages that are transmitted with sound. And I bet that most movies that you watch today that come from the Hollywood, they are all embedded with subliminals already from the frequency itself. I have worked in Hollywood at a time when I was young. And that was a lawyer who was working for singers. He made contracts and stuff like that. And I was taking care of his 4 children when I was about 20 or something. And they had the preview house where they show movies and show commercials. And you have either you put your hand on an electro thing to do that. They measure your like the lie detector, what do you call it, the tension of the hand. Or some people, they even get some electrodes stuck on them. And they check exactly how people react. And they have subliminals. And he told me at that time, I know this is not secondhand knowledge. We were watching something, and in the beginning was a commercial for, it was Coca-Cola and Sprite. And then at a certain time, maybe an hour, so we had a break. And there was a lot of different drinks. They were under many different brands, like even Pepsi and whatever. And there was Coca-Cola and Sprite. And they checked how many people go for that. And then they explained to me, like in the old movies, you know, you have a picture and then a frame, a picture and another picture, that they replace every, I don't remember exactly, 10th or 12th picture with a Coca-Cola bottle. And this is not what you can see with your eye, but your subconscious take it off. So they were checking, and at that time he said something like 80+% of the people, they choose Coke, because that was the Coke bottle. And they did many, that was the beginning. That was, you can imagine, 50 years ago. So, but they do this kind of manipulations in ages. And especially movies and Netflix is full of that stuff.
Okay. So for the advertising.
Yes, exactly. Because what do they need to control the world? One thing is money. Okay, so they you know where the money is. 90% of our money is with a very small little elite, and the other maybe 5%. Yeah. I don't know exactly who has it. Doesn't matter, right?
So for some who cannot contemplate or, you know, focus on their awareness to eliminate the dogma, they can use the tone and the sound to help.
Yes, it does. It's healing. It will lift you. You have meditated before, and you know how it is. You meditate, maybe you have a nice meditation music, you feel very nice, you feel very peaceful. And even after the meditation, it does hold on for a while, right?
Yes.
But then once you go into the city and to work or whatever, it goes away again. So, but now, because the general frequency in the world was low, but now when the general frequency in the world is starting to rise due to the awakening of people, that holds longer. So for the negative energy to not be influenced by it, turn off your TV. For heaven's sakes, turn off those TVs. This is like you eat poison the whole day, you know? It's feeding you poison into your mental, emotional body.
Okay.
And instead start to listen to solfeggio frequencies. And there's a lot online also that you can find. There is even a place, Dr. Horowitz from, he's in Hawaii, also one of the whistleblowers since many, many years. He has transformed even Beatles songs and stuff like that into solfeggio frequency. He's my generation, so we were the Beatles fan at that time, you know. More or less, yeah. So and there is a lot of solfeggio frequency out there. So what you can do is also with the singing bowls, you can put those CDs, or you can put the tone behind somewhere in the house and just let it play the whole day. If you can see, when you go to YouTube and other places, they have solfeggio frequency videos that go 8 hours and longer. And each of the frequency have a different meaning, but I will show that one day. Maybe next time we can talk about that, and I use the slideshow.
I was about to ask, because I've searched this solfeggio frequency, and they have like 5, 3, 2, 8, 2, like 5,
yes.
5 to 8
5
hertz.
to 8 is the heart frequency.
Huh?
And the heart, yes, is the heart, is the center of the heart. And we have different frequencies that have different meaning.
What should we listen to then?
Yeah, you can listen to any solfeggio frequency in the moment. They have some text, like some is, for example, to overcome fear or to be less stressed. Just go for whatever you feel in the moment. And then we can explain that another time. We go in all the frequencies, but that will be a bit too much. And I have the slides which help to see it more closely. This is more easy. So, okay, going back to your questions, what kind of sound or tone can help us to shift our frequency to the golden age? It's the sound of the pure heart. You create that every time you do something good. You're not acting out of greed or fear of survival, or whatever it is that is fear-based. Once you act from your heart, from compassion, once you do something that can that everybody can benefit from, you know. And in this situation in between, it really literally, you know how it sounds when you tune a radio and you go from one station to the other. That disturbance sound that is in between, that's where we are. So whenever this disturbing sound is so strong around us, we have to protect ourselves from it. And this is the best then when you start to open this positive frequency in your house. So you kind of create like a bubble that keeps out the negative frequency. So what is exactly happened with the Schumann frequency and where we're going, I don't know. But I'm 100% sure that our frequency, the pulse of Mother Earth, will not be 7, close to 8 hertz, but that will rise. So the frequency of the whole Earth is like, you remember this white energy boost? The might go up to 100 or to now when we are having boosts going far more, even beyond 40 hertz. So maybe the average of the new age maybe is somewhere around 30 or 40 hertz. So not anymore 7.84 hertz.
So actually this resonance, that the white, it's for adjusting the Gaia frequency.
Yes. You know what a resonance body is, right? A guitar, you know, you have a resonance body. So when you play, the tone from the string is resonating through the body that gives the sound. If you have a string just like this, it does not give that sound. So different forms and sizes of a resonance body give us a different frequency. So the earth also is itself a resonance body that hums on a certain frequency. That is her life energy. This is like when I have maybe not the guitar where you have, but the tone that constantly goes. It is like that frequency. It's like the heartbeat.
Okay.
So we can say the heartbeat becomes faster, or the frequency becomes more higher and more refined. So the people who want to remain in a low frequency, they just stay there. They might leave this body and they will be reincarnated into a different body, into a planet that has the same frequency. There are millions of planets out there. They are like the Earth. There are millions of possibilities. We are not limited to the physical Earth.
Because I was about to ask, what if some people, they cannot adjust the frequency at all? What will happen to them? And you just answer that. They will no longer exist here.
Well, this is just like everything, you know, what does not have a resonance. It's like I cannot touch anybody that does not have a resonance. So it's like, you know, when you're a child, you have some toys, right? And then you grow older, and maybe you have a toy that you loved absolutely when you were 3 years old, and you hold on and hold on. And then you're maybe 5 years old and you even forget you have it, you know? It does not hurt you to let go. So this is the same. Once you let go pattern and you move in a higher frequency, it doesn't hurt. Because people often ask me, but I don't know how to let go, and I don't know how to do this and how to do that, because it hurts. It hurts to let go. I cannot just let go somebody I love. I said, you don't have to. First of all, when you're in a low frequency, the word love is really, honestly, just a 4-letter word. I love ice cream. Oh, I love curry. I love you. You know, this is not really anymore a word that has that true meaning. This is something that goes, so that has the same thing with frequency. You know how many times it happened that you think you love somebody and then that somebody moves away and you don't see that person anymore. Maybe you miss the person, maybe a week or maybe a month or maybe even a year, whatever. But after that, you forget. Tell me, I know, because I've been gone many times, so I really know how it goes. But that people that you really love, really deep, you don't forget. But so this is also, once we move into the other frequency, we kind of just let go, and what is not from that frequency is just kind of going away from us, because it's not in our frame of visibility anymore. So it doesn't hurt. It just gives you more happiness, more satisfaction, a better life.
Okay, so I have next question. You mentioned earlier that when the Schumann resonance is hitting higher than 40,
Yes.
some people will have symptoms.
Yes.
What kind? What kind of
sickness
symptom?
or
Do we need to aware of these symptoms?
Yes, we have to. And actually it helps if you follow, but I can tell, I know immediately when the energies are coming up. I'm like drunk sometimes, or like I would have taken some drugs. Some moments, like especially this one on the 26th, I had in the morning, I was getting up, I was doing my work and everything. And then around 10, 11 o'clock, I had like, I'm fainting, you know, kind of that feeling, I'm gonna faint. I had to go and lay down, and that was this energy. You cannot really handle that. When we say here, look again at the this line here, now you can see the number. Here is 8.0, right? So here, this is the normal frequency that was for a couple thousand years. And now look at all these spikes that are coming in within this week. It's like swords are penetrating your energy field to help you to let go of all these boundaries. They explode. So when you know, I mean, you know when it happened, you have some reactions, but maybe people have headaches, people need more water. I remember, for me, I'm thirsty the whole day. I can drink water, drink and never have enough.
Okay.
This is also one thing. So these are short spikes that are just like a moment, and then more or less maybe an hour, half an hour. So you can see the timing here, but it's UK time, it's not our time. So anyway, when you have these very strong spikes coming up, and you see now it's another spike coming up, then it's better when you have time to rest. And this is also, I think that's a blessing, even if many people don't get it, that you don't have so much work maybe, or that you have to get out of your job or whatever, because in these situations, we are maybe not even able to work. And to work, really do work. And I mean, you see, I make mistakes. I usually don't make mistakes, but I start to make mistakes. I write down the wrong text, or, you know, also with Mercury retrograde, we talked about the confusion, you know. And when you have such things like this, plus Mercury is going retrograde, you can bet that people are very confused.
So it affects our emotional too?
Not emotionally, it affects all of our bodies. It really affects the whole of us. And a lot of people are getting sick. You know, honestly, I'm in the moment when I look at that, I'm not 100% sure anymore that people who die from the jab really die from the jab. Because there is so much energy. This energy frequency can create a heart attack, for example. High energy frequency, because Michelle Fielding said something in a channeling what make a lot of sense to me, that I know they are fake injections that are not really with all the poison inside, and still people die. So it can very well be because of this, because I don't believe any narrative anymore that is out there somewhere. Those stories are all kind of try to explain something that we cannot explain in the moment. Again, what I said, we don't know what we don't know.
So it means that the resonance, the Schumann resonance is affect our body and
yes,
our physical, and it's also affect our the vibration of us to shift
of us and the planet.
Okay.
We are part of her. We are part of her. Our body is made out of the matter of the planet. And when you see here, when we look at these lines that we have here in a constant vibration here, and this one slowly coming up here with 30 hertz, you can see that there is a shift. Before, when I would go back years, there was more or less just this line and a little bit more. Let me see, I have a second one somewhere. Yeah. but here, see, this one is very strong too, but this is more or less how the frequency was looking before, you know, more like this. This was the couple, oh, this is right now 28, 29. But here again, you see there's another spike already coming up. And it's going on all the time. It's not standing still. That is a vibration that keeps going, and then going, and once again, a very strong spike. Then we need to take care of our health and financial, materially, it is also like, how is our body? What do we need for our body? We feed our body, right? So what kind of food you need?
More natural, like less processed.
Exactly. More higher frequency of food.
Higher frequency of food.
Like eat
So
rice,
this is
no
more
noodle.
natural again, yes. Right.
Okay.
More natural and without pesticides, not GMO. So it's better to, when you know people who grow stuff, that you go buy directly from places you know. Or, but if you have a little garden here, plant yourself now. Oh, I'm happy the planting season starts. I have already some seeds, some salad, some stuff. Very nice.
So it will automatically shift our frequency too.
Yes. And eat
so,
less.
Eat less. Okay.
Because no, we eat way too much.
Okay.
Generally, people eat way too much.
Okay. Overeat.
Yes, yes. So you can, you know, when I came to Thailand about 30 years ago, I didn't see any fat kids or hardly ever any fat adults. When I look around today, there is a lot of people like, you know, the pumpui, the kind of wobbly kind of, and real fat people that I have never seen before. And this is the introduction of junk food from the Western world. That's the gift from the Western world to Thailand. All the processed bullshit. So stay away from that stuff. You have wonderful food here. I love Thai food. I just can't eat too spicy. Burns my stomach.
More understanding on both Kali Yuga, Golden Age, frequency, the Schumann, and the sounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's good if you go into the sound again with that slideshow afterwards. That will help you to really be able to differentiate the scale. Okay, do we have another question?
No, I think that's all.
I think we're through, huh?
Yeah, we've gone through.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you everybody for watching us. Please share and like our video. And I see you next time. Thank you.
Okay, see you next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.